That is so bogus. That is so bogus. Bogus. Unbelievable. That they used that as their explanation, leading with the knee in a natural motion where he turned to not lead with his knee in the end anyways. God damn. Always f***ing the Raptors. Shot clock violation. Your city is 20 f***ing years away from even sniffing the chance of winning a championship. Barnes spins, layup, rims out, another offensive board, Gary Trent for three. Oh wow, what the fuck, we just lost to the Detroit Pistons. We're at home against the Detroit Pistons. Lost. A Pistons team who I need to continue to remind everybody that the Detroit Pistons played yesterday. And in that game yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Detroit Pistons managed 78 points. 78. Tonight, they're at 125. And I'll also remind you, coming into tonight, the Pistons were shooting 39% from the field. 39. That is on pace to be the worst shooting mark since 1960. That's over 60 years ago. This is historically one of the worst teams the Raptors will ever face in their history. And they just lost at home to that team. Coming off of a win against one of the best teams in the East. I don't care who's missing. I don't care who's injured. Fred VanVleet wasn't there. Goran Dragic was fine in his absence. We still lose to the Detroit Pistons. I don't care who's injured. Even if Fred's injured, you cannot lose to the Detroit fucking Pistons. Unbelievable. That's embarrassing, and I hope all these Raptors players go home and feel embarrassed for this one, because it just straight up was a horrible performance. Straight up. Say what you want about officiating. Officiating wasn't good. The Raptors were far worse, and that one burns, because that was, again, brutally embarrassing to be. It would be embarrassing to wake up and have to make a video about this game as a Raptors creator. It truly is. The Detroit Pistons came to this game shooting 39% from three and 39% from the field, 29% from three, and have 2 wins. They're 2-9. Yesterday they had 78 points. I can't stress how bad this team is enough. The only wins this season they have are against the Magic and the Rockets. The Rockets somehow are an even worse team than this one. But the Raptors find a way to lose this as a result of some horrible free throw shooting and horrible defense all throughout the game. Everything the Detroit Pistons wanted to do tonight offensively, they just did it. Nobody was stopping them. Nobody was stopping them from achieving the feat tonight. Nobody was stopping them from achieving the feat tonight. They just did everything that they wanted all over the place. They would get a wide open three for Jeremy Grant on the side. He'd hit it. Then on the very next play, they'd get Jeremy Grant wide open on the side, and he'd hit an open three. Then the next play, Josh Jackson open for three. Pistons also had a monumental performance from their bench. They finished with 44 bench points. And the bench scoring for the Raptors continues to be a problem. The fact that, well, there really isn't a lot of it. Other than Delano Banton tonight. Pistons bench kills us. Their offense kills us all throughout the game. And we have no answer. We're one of the better defensive teams in the league. We claim to be one of the best. And we just let the Pistons do that. Isaiah Stewart shot 9 for 11. 20 points. Jeremy Grant had 24 points. I mean, Jeremy Grant's a good player, but the manner of a lot of these makes and the free throws, I think a lot of it's coming down to free throws here. A lot of it's coming down to free throws, and we're going to see why here. The Raptors got their calls. 31 free throws attempted. They only hit 20, and they started hitting a lot more down the stretch, but it just simply wasn't good enough from that. Turnovers, we only forced 13, and we turned the ball over 13 times. The Raptors against the Pistons just simply have to be winning in that category. That category can't be tied. You simply have to be winning in that category. We shot well. Our offense was great. Our offense was great all throughout the night, but our inability to get a stop against one of the worst teams really the NBA has ever seen is truly embarrassing. Pistons bench lights it up. Frank Jackson and Josh Jackson have 14 and 15 respectively. Killian Hayes had a couple wide open threes in the corner on back-to-back plays. He finished with 13. Cade, trash all night. Came up with some big shots down the stretch. Isaiah Stewart tormented us all night, and there was no answer for him. Sadiq Bey was fine. I mean, just so many guys chipping in for this team. The Raptors, if you want, like, Gary Trent was great in the first half. We let him a little quiet in the second half. Siakam put on a proper performance here. This is the first option we've been missing. 9 for 14 from the field, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, almost a triple-double. Our offense was fine. We got 23 from Trent. We got 16 from Dragic, of all people. Scotty chipped in with 11. OG had 17. That's fine for him on good shooting. Delano Banton, 12 off the bench. Like, offensively, we were fine. But we showed a complete and utter inability to play any sort of defense against the Detroit Pistons. I understand that this is Dwayne Casey's championship game. Dwayne Casey is just, as a coach, can't get the championship games. He's just not good enough of a coach. So he treats every game against the Raptors like it is his championship game, and he does it again. Last season, it was embarrassing playing the Pistons. They blew us out every time they played them, and I didn't think that would transition over to this season, and it absolutely did. And I have no way of defending this team. And the defense was awful. It fell apart late in the third, started the fourth. I can't understand why Chris Boucher continues to get minutes here. I know he had 17 against Philly the other day, but he offers his team nothing. There's nothing Chris Boucher does to help this team, except for that one game where he was good offensively. Still horrible defensively. If Chris Boucher steps outside the paint, he gets blown by. He gets blown by like he's walking on stilts. Like, no mobility whatsoever. Can't block any shots. Can't do anything for us offensively. And he wasn't the only one on defense that was struggling. I felt like everybody, their help defense was a problem. OG Anunoby's willingness to run back and play defense was questionable at times. There was 3 straight plays where Isaiah Stewart, who OG Anunoby was guarding, had an easy layup. One was a result of an OG Anunoby turnover, and he didn't run back, left Isaiah Stewart wide open. Would have gotten a stop if he ran back. The second one was another OG Anunoby turnover. He gets back and then falls asleep. Isaiah Stewart backdoor cut, turns into a bucket. So as far as it goes, look, the offense was great. The half-court offense was great, but you'd expect that against the fucking Detroit Pistons, right? Defensively, you just simply can't allow that many points. 127 points to the Pistons. I think that's the most we've allowed all season. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just not good enough. That's just not good enough, and that's not going to be good enough over the course of the season. This team has aspirations to be in a playoff position, and fucking not going to do it playing like that. You got a West Coast road trip coming up. You got 5 straight games, like super West Coast. Like, let's see the schedule coming up. That was the one you had to win. That was the one you had to win before your big road trip here. I get we're better on the road. We're 5-1 on the road. We're 2-6 at home. It's supposed to be a fortress at home, you know? Playing in front of our fans. That's what they keep preaching. We got Portland, Jazz, Kings, Warriors, Grizzlies, Pacers, all on the road coming up, and then a tough game against the Celtics. We're going into this 500. We've lost 4 of our last 5. And 2 of those in quite embarrassing fashion against the Celtics and the Pistons. I sincerely hope these Raptors players get a good look at themselves in the mirror after this one and, tell themselves, I fucking wasn't good enough tonight. And a lot of them have to say that. Defensively, the help rotation, the help defense was almost non-existent at times. The closeout was non-existent for a lot of the time in this game. The Pistons just toyed with us and did everything they wanted to us and got the win. They're 3-9. We're 7-7. We were 6-3. We had some gimmies here. We had some gimmies. This was a gimme. This was one you had to win. The Raptors were favored by 9. This is a fucking huge upset. And it just should not have. That's a very ill-timed Kawhi Leonard laugh. Not all losses are created equal, and this is one of the worst you're going to have all season. Pistons, of all teams. The Pistons. Oh, man. I'm not going to call Nick Nurse into question here at all. I just think you just need to rotate better, like individually. Rotate Roth. We've constructed a full roster dedicated to the way Nick Nurse wants to play. It would be disastrous to fire Nick Nurse. So anybody out there, Nick Nurse, this team is built for Nick Nurse. This team is built for Nick Nurse. So if you hire a different guy who tries to play differently, this team is going to be even worse. So we're 7-7, right around 500. Teams to get better as we progress through the season. Hopefully we don't get many more of those, because this West Coast road trip's gonna be tough. Portland fucking sucked too. So, hopefully come up with a win against the Portland Trailblazers on Monday. But, man, heading into a West Coast road trip, this was a nice, this was one that you really wanted to get on you. A win you wanted to get behind you going into that. Bring in some momentum, bring in some good vibes, and it's not how the way it panned out. And I hope every Raptors player rinses his team for that performance, because that was embarrassing. Absolutely fucking embarrassing. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for watching. Post-game shows are usually more fun than this. They're not. This one wasn't today. If you want to see those fun ones, make sure you're subscribed to the Clips channel. Get more of those. Or just come check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/amateursports. Link is in the description. Let's get to 50 likes on this one. Support the brand. Hold the Raptors accountable. And check out all our other channels. I'm done. Bye.